Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about Ethereum and I will touch on coronavirus as well. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out the upcoming token swap. Also, update about coronavirus. You can also follow me on Twitter and library.tv. Library.tv is a decentralized YouTube. You can earn library token just by joining library.tv and watching videos as well. And if you're interested, you can click the link below. I want to point out something quickly about the YouTube. Let's see. So whenever I talk about coronavirus, it looks like YouTube saying that there's restriction on my advertising suitability. Are they trying to penalize people talking about coronavirus? Why they're choosing, that means there's no freedom, right? They try to penalize people talk about coronavirus. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. Why they put a restriction on the ad suitability for people talking about coronavirus? Are they trying to penalize people so then people don't talk about it anymore? So that's why we need a decentralized YouTube and let the people decide what they want to see instead of their algorithm. Their algorithm, maybe they don't want people to know the truth about the coronavirus. They want to downplay everything, just like at the very beginning, everybody downplay everything, right? And I warned everybody about coronavirus probably at least 2 to 3 weeks ago. If you follow my channel, I'm one of the first people to talk about it. And at the time, people don't take it seriously. They still making jokes about coronavirus or corona beer. And yeah, I warned my family about at least 3 to 4 weeks ago. And so all my close friends, they know about this. And at the time, some of them don't take it seriously. Some of them, they take it seriously. But still, nowadays, people still don't take it seriously. They still compare flu and the regular virus. I will talk about that later. So in case you haven't installed the Brave browser, you can check it out. It block advertising. Also, you can surfing the internet faster. As well as you can earn basic attention token as well. If you're interested, you can click the link below. That will help out my channel as well. So let's talk about Ethereum. So Ethereum has been pumping like crazy, and I'm not that surprised. I've been talking about the DeFi Decentralized Finance project at least 2 months ago. If you go back to my previous video and follow my channel, you probably know that. You probably anticipate this pump anyway. And so right now, I think they talk about five signs that Ethereum moment has come. The first one, they talk about institutional investors are now paying a 220% premium. So basically, those accredited investor paying a 220% premium just to buy Ethereum through the Grayscale Ethereum Trust. That is interesting. Maybe they can just go to Coinbase and open an account. They don't have to pay the premium. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to do the custodial, all that jazz. I'm not sure. And also study find Ethereum is a hedge and safe haven asset. Yes and no, because maybe because of the right now of the epidemics, the coronavirus, and right now people are so complacency about the stock market. I don't know. Maybe some of them, they probably put some of the money into gold, silver, and crypto as well, just to hedge against the potential risk and the potential collapse of the traditional market. Because with right now, China, basically the production is almost like, it's very minimal. Most of the production industry, they are doing it right now is basically surgical masks or protective gear. Those are the priority they are manufacturing right now. In terms of like semiconductor or Foxconn, they are not Foxconn. Foxconn is the one who manufacture iPhone. They're not even open yet, right? So all this will affect the GDP eventually. So I don't know. I don't see the stock market will go up and up because this will affect the bottom line of the a lot of company like Apple, Tesla, right? Tesla has a Shanghai Gigafactory in there. I don't think they are back to work yet. Some of them may be back to work, but then there's a high risk of cross-contamination when they go back to work. And it already happened in some of the city. Because I think last week, they said go back to work, but it's not at full capacity. It's probably like maybe 20-30%. And actually, some people go back to work in a factory. They got cross-infection again. And then they have to shut down the factory once again. So I think this is a bad idea to go back to work at this time right now because your epidemics is not even under control. And the thing is, you cannot find the sources of the of the virus, where does it come from? Does it come from the lab or come from the super spreader? I mean, right now, if they cannot find the sources of infection, this will keep going on and on and on, right? If they find the sources of infection, they can contain it. But right now, they cannot find it, and they reopen the factory, which is a huge mistake, which will be a total huge mistake. I'm telling you. So, and there will be that will cause another outbreak subsequently. I mean I can foresee, because some of the factory, some worker, when they go back to work, they already exposed, and then they have to shut down the factory right away. So anyway, and then the first sign is JP Morgan looks to merge blockchain division with Consensus. Of course, Consensus is created by Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin, and Ethereum price is at 7-month high. And of course, it's as right. The thing is more than double. I talked about the DeFi decentralized finance project at least 2 months ago. At the time, Ethereum may be 140 or 120 or something like that. Right now, it's at all-time high, 7-month high. Do you think it's a good idea to jump to it? I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, I will only buy when the indicator are met. If they don't meet the indicators, I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to FOMO in or anything. I mean, when people are talking about FOMO in, I'm not going to do anything. But I could be wrong too. I'm not a financial advice. They can pump all day long. This is up to the whale how they pump the crypto. And DeFi talks about so DeFi tops 1 billion. So the DeFi project, a decentralized finance project, require the collateral sticking funds into the project. So right now they already the funds stick into the project, probably as 1 billion for the first time. So that's why I'm very bullish in DeFi or DeFi project. And the thing is, if you have a long-term horizon, I don't think it matters when do you buy Ethereum, I guess. But I will buy when indicators are met. This is only me, but so it's up to the whale. I mean, how they play the game. But I want to point out something quickly. Let's see. So in terms of the Ethereum long position, it has been pumping. And I'm not sure they're going to dump the price to liquidate this long position. And in terms of the short position, some of them got liquidated because the price has been pumping like crazy, right? The Ethereum. So some of them has been a short position has been liquidated. So, and in terms of long position has been pumping. So I'm not sure if they're going to dump the price to liquidate this position. This is just FYI, not a financial advice. Use your due diligence. It's up to the whale how they play the game, because this is such a small market cap. So just a small amount of money can manipulate the market anyway. So the next stop. So let me know what you think about Ethereum. Do you think are you bullish in Ethereum DeFi project, or do you think Ethereum has potential? Please comment below. Let me know what you think about this. I would love to hear from you. So the next stop, we're going to talk about the coronavirus. And of course, this is not the accurate number. I've been talking about this on day one, probably at least 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, about the at the time it's only less than 3,000 cases, and I have told everybody this thing is going to be serious, this is going to be big, and this is exactly what happened. And this is very exponential, just like crypto, exponential nature of the virus. And right now they have 71,000 cases. I don't think this is the truth. Maybe 700,000 or maybe 1 million. And in terms of death toll, probably at least 50,000. And the death toll is based on the funeral home and how many funeral homes in Wuhan. I mean, we just talk about Wuhan. We haven't even talked about some other province, and they work, and then people work in a funeral home. They're saying they work 24/7. They cannot keep up with the work, and this is just based on what I find out. In some of the channel, some of the other unofficial channel. Actually, officially they are not going to tell you all this crap, and based on that. So maybe 50,000, I don't know, already dead, and then they try to manufacture 1 million of the dead body, those body bag, those orange, yellow bag, and of course the Diamond Princess is a disaster, right? And the cruise ship from at Yokohama. So the thing is, right now you have 454, which is basically another outbreak in a cruise ship, basically. And this is all start with one person. If you still remember, there's a guy from Hong Kong went to Shenzhen, have fun with the mistress. Maybe he got it in Shenzhen, I don't know. And then he went he went to the cruise ship. He flew to the cruise ship and then flew to Japan and go to the cruise ship in Yokohama for a few days, and then he flew back to Hong Kong, and then he developed symptoms. He was sick, and then he sent to the hospital. And then in the hospital he tested positive, and then the health official traced him back to the cruise ship. That's why they notified the cruise ship. That's why the cruise ship got tested, the people. This is all how it started. It's just one person. Okay, all you need is just one person. So people are comparing the regular flu to the coronavirus. This is like apple and oranges you're comparing. So I want to emphasize, I think maybe the mainstream media want you to believe in that, but if you pay attention with the reproductive rate, which is the transmission rate, 1 to regular flu, I just want to emphasize, regular flu is 1 to 1.3 people you transmit. This thing, the coronavirus, is 1 to 4 to 6 people. Those are based on the epidemiology, okay, model. It's not coming out of nowhere. So it's epidemiology. I think University of Florida, they come out with the epidemiology model, 1 to 4. Then I saw something from CDC, potentially to 6. I think I will talk about that probably in the next few video. And if you're a super spreader, you're going to spread to more than 10 people. Look at who is the super spreader. Remember that UK guy attend a sales conference in Singapore Grand Hyatt Hotel, and then he spread more than 10 people. He spread to 11 people. He went to a ski resort in France. I mean, this thing is seriously. In a regular flu, you don't spread to people like wildfires, okay? And I don't understand why people keep on complaining the flu and the coronavirus. This is different. Regular flu is not exponential, okay? It's very consistent over the course of the flu season. Coronavirus is exponential. You can see this number is less than 2 weeks or 3 weeks. From less than 3,000 cases to over 71,000 cases. Does it happen in a regular flu? I don't think so. So another thing, flu has symptoms. You stay home, you feel sick, and then you maybe go to hospital, you got quarantine or whatever. But this thing, no symptoms, you're already spreading the virus, okay? So this is a huge difference. And another scary thing is, I think the patient develops pneumonia without any symptoms until they do a chest X-ray or CT scan. Then they find out that they already have pneumonia, but they have no symptoms whatsoever. So this is very different. Another different thing between flu and coronavirus is regular flu, you anticipate all this thing, and also the people in general has exposure to a regular flu. But this coronavirus, that's why you call novel coronavirus. That means human has never been exposed to this virus. That means we have no immunity whatsoever. So this is a dangerous part. So in the mankind. So in mankind, we have never exposed to this type of virus. So people keep on comparing flu and coronavirus. I mean, are you serious? I mean, look at the statistic. Look at the epidemiology model. Look at all these facts, okay? I mean, is that because this is from a Chinese Communist Party propaganda to divert the attention to the regular flu, right? Is it because of this as well? Maybe a propaganda from the CCP, from the Chinese Communist Party. So don't fall into those propaganda. You got to have some critical thinking about this thing. I mean, seriously. In terms of the Diamond Princess, there's a disaster because a cruise ship is such a crowded area. I mean, it's a confined area. This is potential. It's another outbreak. It's a community outbreak over there already. Singapore probably losing control of their epidemics, and in Japan is very bad. In Japan, they have a community outbreak, and I think there's a taxi driver. I think he has a passenger from mainland Chinese. I mean, just a taxi driver had a passenger from mainland Chinese. I think the mainland Chinese probably coughing, but the mainland Chinese wear a mask, right? I'm not sure if the taxi driver wear a mask. But then if you're in a taxi, you're in such a confined place, then the droplets, the aerosol, maybe go to when you inhale it, you probably get it, right? And then also maybe he touching the inside of the taxi, and then the taxi driver touched the seat or whatever, and it got exposed. So I think people should take this seriously, okay? This is not like a regular flu. And in Hong Kong, It's pretty interesting because like Hong Kong is near the border, is basically at the border of the China. There's a tons and tons of mainland Chinese going to Hong Kong, and yet they have less case than Japan and Singapore. And maybe because of the vigilance of the Hong Kong citizens, because of the painful experience in SARS, that's why everybody wear a mask, everybody sensitize their hand very frequently. Maybe that's one of the reasons. But this can change because the Hong Kong government refused to shut down the border because well, Hong Kong government is just basically controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. So the Chinese Communist Party probably told them, don't shut down the border. So that's why they never shut down the border. And there will be tons and still tons and tons of mainland Chinese going to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong may be the next epidemic area. We don't know because there's so many border crossing from mainland Chinese going to Hong Kong. So this is another risk. So this number can change. Maybe this will be an outbreak too. We don't know. So this is very sad. So in terms of the incubation period, I talked about the incubation period probably long time ago, probably at least like 4 or 5 days ago, to all my friends that the incubation period is longer than 14 days. And yet the mainstream media is very lagging behind. It's very slow. And they don't talk about it until probably recently, right? But I talked about it for a long, long time ago. And so there's some cases in China, let's see, has longer incubation period. There's a government of Xinjiang, Shenzhen County in the city of Xinjiang, and they reported there's new cases confirmed 34 days after the patient returned from mid-January visit to Wuhan. So 34 days seriously is almost a month. So and he has been sent to hospital with suspected symptom on January 28, but tested twice negative before testing positive on February 16. So I'm telling you, so those testing are not accurate because, and also a lot of healthcare provider, they don't even know that. They thought, oh, it's tested negative. Then they say, oh, everything is fine. No, come on. Those tests, the accuracy is only 30 to 50%. Okay, you must be as well flipping a coin. Why are you doing those tests? I don't know. And you probably flipping a coin is better hope, right? I guess. And then even though it's positive, it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean you have to be relaxing. No. I mean, this creates a false sense of security to a lot of healthcare worker, nurses, doctors. I mean, seriously. I mean, did they even read the news? I mean, I know some people, they are just saying, hey, I'm negative, then that means it's nothing. No, it could be positive later on. Come on, guys. If they come from a epicenter like Hubei province, this is a high risk. So got to take this thing seriously. And of course, the family member also got infected. It's no surprise. And so that's why that county government extended the quarantine period from 14 to 21 days because of this. And another cases, reported case is confirmed 94 days after the patient's contact with the relative from Hubei province. Oh goodness, 94 days is almost 3 months, right? Before you develop symptoms. And oh goodness. And basically the patient had taken care of his father-in-law who arrived from Wuhan on November 13 and dies days later. That is scary. November 13. So people are telling everybody this thing is start in December. No, it starts very early, probably October. I think I talked about that in my previous video. This coronavirus started very early on, probably in October. And because of the censorship in China, they cover it up and all that. And of course, the son-in-law got that as well because he stayed in the father-in-law house. So that is scary, man. So 3 months incubation period? Seriously? So I don't know. This is very bad. I mean, the situation. I don't want to scare people. Just be prepared what's going on out there. And I don't know. This is not good. Another thing is the supply chain. So right now, they said they already go back to work, right? But the thing is, the reality is that even though they go back to work, they are not up to 100% capacity, probably 30%, and some factory has to shut down because there's a cross-infection, cross-contamination because of people going back to work. And right now, there's a huge shortage of surgical masks, protective gear in China, as well as in Asia. And of course, in the US and Europe, it's pretty complacency, They still think everything is fine and all that, I guess. I don't think you're going to have enough hazmat suits when you have an outbreak in the Western world as well. Everything is just too complacency, and they think everything is fine. Things is going to go away, and it's not going to go away. And there's a scary part about this thing. There's some type of predictions and prophecy about the end of the world. And in around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like will be throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and resisting all known treatments. This book probably back in 2008. So is it seriously? Oh my goodness, I don't know. That is insane. I don't know what's going on. And yeah. So let me know what you think about, oh, my computer is getting funky now. Let me know what you think about all these things. I would love to hear from you. Do you think this thing is going to contain, or do you think we are going to have a pandemic coming up? And in terms of the World Health Organization, they don't do much enough at the very beginning. They lose the window of opportunity to contain the virus. And of course, I already tell, on day one, I tell everybody, at least 2 to 3 weeks ago, I tell everybody that the World Health Organization has a very good relationship with China, and so that's why the World Health Organization is downplay everything at the very beginning. I don't know if you still remember. Right now, people are starting question about him. Right now, I mean, seriously, you should question him about probably at least 2 to 3 weeks ago. I mean, everybody see that. I don't know why everything is so lagging behind in terms of mainstream media. So that's why sometimes people should not just focus on the mainstream media. I mean, they may have an agenda, right? So we should look at different channel or different people, and then you come with you come with a conclusion yourself. This is much better than watching the mainstream media, because mainstream media is owned by corporations. They have their own agenda. They want you to see certain things. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you think about this coronavirus. I would love to hear from you. Do you think it's going to contain? Do you think this will be a potential pandemic? And I would love to hear from you. And if you find this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, also share with your friends. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the upcoming token swap, as well as the coronavirus update. And I'll continue to provide quality video for you guys. And please comment below. I would love to hear from you, and this will help my ranking in YouTube. And also smash the like button if you find this video helpful, and subscribe to my channel. So that is important. That will help my channel as well. Remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our money. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not a financial advisor. Investing in cryptocurrency and stock market and commodity can has inherent risk. Please use the due diligence. I'm not a healthcare provider. If you have any concern about coronavirus, please consult with your doctors. And this is only for entertainment purposes.